Hey everyone, this is Sacred Cards, and today I'm going to share with you my Earth Machine deck profile. This deck is really innovative with so many different lines of play. It has cool combos and can make some big XCs monsters. I'm constantly messing around with the ratios, and some cards can be cut for more interruptions, but I like the consistency. I'll go through the deck list and try and explain the cards as best I can. So with that said, let's get into it. First off, for the Infinitrack lineup, I play 3 copies of Infinitrack Harvester. One of the best starters in the deck. When it is normal or special summoned, you can search an Infinitrack monster from deck to your hand. You can also target another monster you control, then each of them becomes the combined level of the 2 monsters you selected, making it easy to go into Xyz plays. Next, I play 3 copies of Brutal Dozer. You contribute an Earth Machine monster to special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you can special summon another Infinitrack monster from your deck. It does lock you into Earth Machines, so keep that in mind. Another extender is 2 copies of Infinitrack Trencher. You contribute an Earth Machine to special summon this card from your hand. Then you can banish it from the graveyard to special summon a level 5 or lower Infinitrack from your graveyard. A new addition to the deck from Cyberstorm Access is Infinitrack Road Roller. If an Earth Machine is tributed or banished, you can special summon it from the hand or graveyard. When you use this card as Xyz material, it changes all monsters your opponent controls to defense position and reduces their defense by 1,000 points. Last cards in the Infinitrack lineup is 1 copy of Tunneler, 1 copy of Anchor Drill, and 1 Ancient Gearbox. Tunneler contribute an Earth Machine to special summon itself, but the main effect is to banish itself from the graveyard, shuffle back 5 monsters, and draw 2 cards. When Anchor Drill is normal or special summoned, it can summon an Earth Machine from your hand in defense position. Similar to Harvester, you can combine the levels of another monster you control and each become that level to help you make Xyz plays. Ancient Gearbox is the 1 card you don't really want to see in your opening hand. You want to search this with your copy of Ancient Gear Ballista in the extra deck. When it is added to your hand, you can add an Infinitrack monster with 500 defense to your hand, usually a copy of Tunneler, Trencher, or Anchor Drill. Next is the Machina lineup, starting with 3 copies of Gear Frame. Another one of your main starters, when this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 Machina card from your deck to your hand. Some of the cards you might want to add are 1 copy of Machina Unclasped Bear, 1 copy of Fortress, and 1 Metal Cruncher. Unclasped Bear, when it is added to your hand, it can special summon itself, and when it is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 Machina monster from your deck to the graveyard. Fortress can discard monsters whose levels equal 8 or more, including itself, to special summon from the hand or graveyard. If it's destroyed by battle, you can destroy a card your opponent controls, and if this card is targeted, you can look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card from their hand. Metal Cruncher is actually a starter in itself. If you control no face-up cards, it can be normal summoned without tributing, but its attack becomes 1800. If it's normal or special summoned, you can reveal 3 Earth Machines from your deck, and your opponent randomly adds 1 to your hand. For your big boss monsters, we play 1 copy of Machina Citadel and 1 copy of Machina Ruin Force. Citadel must be special summoned by card effect. If a card on your side of the field is destroyed, you can special summon it from the graveyard. When it is on the field, quick effect, you can destroy a machine monster you control and all monsters on your opponent's side of the field with equal or less attack than your monster. Machina Ruin Force can special summon itself from the graveyard by banishing monsters whose levels equal 12 or more. When your opponent activates a card effect during the battle phase, you can cut your life points in half to negate it, and if you do, cut your opponent's life points in half. And with 4600 attack, this card hits very hard. Last of the machines is a small train package in one heavy freight train Derrick Crane and one Super Express bullet train. Good for making rank 10 plays. With Derrick Crane, if an Earth Machine is special summoned, or if an Earth Machine is summoned rather, you can special summon this card from your hand but have its attack and defense. And when it is detached from an Xyz monster, you can destroy a card your opponent controls. Bullet Train can be special summoned if you only control Earth Machines, so it's very easy to get out of your hand. And if it's sent to the graveyard that turn, you can target a machine back in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Last monster I play is 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Pretty self-explanatory, just to help you interrupt your opponent's plays. That's it for the monsters. Now on to the spells, starting with 3 copies of Heavy Forward. This card will add any Infinitrack monster from your deck to your hand. It can banish itself, it can attach itself to an Xyz monster as material or change its battle position. 3 copies of Machina Redeployment. You can discard 1 card to add 2 Machina monsters from your deck to your hand, but if you discard a Machina card, you can add any 2 Machina cards from your deck to your hand, including the trap card Overdrive. 2 copies of Urgent Schedule to help get your plays going. A good card going second, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon a level 4 or lower and 1 level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck in defense position. And if this set card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand. Next, I play 3 copies of Forbidden Chalice. This card can negate an effect monster on your opponent's side of the field. Alternatively, you can use it on your own monster to boost its attack during the battle phase. And then 1 copy of Called by the Grave, just to stop your opponent's hand traps or graveyard effects. Just a good card in general. For the traps, I run 3 copies of Machina Overdrive. This card does so much for the deck. You can target 1 machine monster you control, special summon a Machina monster from your hand or deck, then destroy the targeted monster. It's great for triggering your copy of Citadel in the graveyard or getting it out onto the field. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target 3 machine monsters in your graveyard or banish pile and recycle them back into the deck to draw 1 card. Last card in the main deck of 2 copies of Torrential Tribute. Just another card to wipe the board of all monsters on the field and can trigger your monster's destruction effects. A well-timed Torrential Tribute can really disrupt your opponent. That's it for the main deck. Now on to the extra deck. Starting off with your Link 1, we have 3 copies of Infinitrack Goliath. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target an Xyz monster you control and attach this card as material. When it is being used as material, that monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. You make these during your main combo and recycle them back with your copy of Tunneler. Next is 1 copy of Ancient Gear Ballista and 1 double-headed Anger Knuckle. Ballista will search your copy of Ancient Gear box from the deck, which then gets you another search. It can also destroy a spell trap you control, and if you do, change the attack of a monster your opponent controls to 0. Anger Knuckle during the main phase can quick effect send a monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, target a level 10 machine in the graveyard, and special summon it in defense position. I only play one copy because if it's in the graveyard, you can send a card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon this card back to the field. Last of the Link monsters, I play one copy of Platinum Gadget and one Clifford Genius. Platinum Gadget can special summon a level 4 lower machine monster from your hand to a zone it points to. Clifford Genius is unaffected by spells, traps, and the activated effects of other Link monsters. You can target 2 monsters, one of yours and one of your opponents. Both have their effects negated. Usually I will pair this with Urgent Schedule because when 2 monsters are special summoned to its Link arrows at the same time, you can add a level 5 or higher machine monster from your deck to your hand. Now for the Xyz monsters, starting off with one copy of Gear Gigan X and one copy of Infinitrack Riverstormer. Gear X is a rank 4 that can detach material to add a level 4 lower machine monster from your deck to your hand, from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Riverstormer is a rank 5 that can detach a material to add any earth machine from your deck to your hand, so it can basically search any card in your deck that you need. If it's in your graveyard, you contribute a machine Link monster to special summon it back in defense position. Also, if it does happen to destroy a monster by battle, you can attach that card as material. For the rank 9 monsters, I play one copy of Infinitrack Earthslicer and one Phantom Fortress Enter Blathnir. Earthslicer can detach any amount of materials to destroy that many cards on the field, and like Riverstormer, you contribute a machine Link monster to special summon it back from the graveyard as well. And if it destroys a monster by battle, you can attach that card as material. Enter Blathnir can detach a material to either banish a card your opponent controls, banish a random card from their hand, banish a card in their graveyard, or banish the top card of their deck face up. Now for the rank 10s, I play one copy of number 81, Super Dora, one copy of Rail Cannon Gustav Max, and one copy of Rail Cannon Juggernaut Libe. Super Dora can quick effect detach a material to target a card on the field and make that card unaffected by card effects. Gustav Max can detach a material to burn your opponent for 2,000 life points. And Juggernaut Libe can be Xyz summoned by using a rank 10 machine monster as material. This card can make attacks on monsters up to the number of materials it has, +1, so great for running over your opponent's board. If you detach a material, you can increase its attack and defense to 6,000, but if you do, he can only attack. So that's just something to keep in mind. And finally, last card in the extra deck is one copy of AA Zeus. If an Xyz monster battled this turn, you can stack this card on top of its materials, then quick effect, you can detach 2 materials, send all of the cards on the field to the graveyard. If another card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can attach a card from your hand, deck, or extra deck as material. Well, that is it for the deck profile. I really hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything you like or don't like, feel free to leave me a comment telling me what you think. Be sure to like the video if you did and subscribe for more content. Thank you for your support and have a great day.